This is the guide on how I made $6,840 in 24 hours of work, pure profit, already paid out to me at 19 years old. Now, my vessel for this is door-to-door sales in the fiber internet industry slash telecom industry. I included this screenshot here just as an example. 3 hours and 35 minutes of knocking, I made over $1,500 of profit in that time. In fiber, the reason that I chose this space within sales and just to pursue it on a business level is because it is the easiest sales industry to pursue. Now, first things first, fiber internet, it's such a no-brainer for this reason alone. Already, Cox Communications, they're a competitor of ours that we sell against, and just to sort of make it basic, Cox, Spectrum, Mediacom, these big giants for internet, they're typically the only option in most neighborhoods, most towns across the United States. It's a very monopolistic structure. There's not enough competition in most areas within the US. So as a result, they have horrible reviews because Cox, they don't have any incentive to make things better for the customer. It's not like they're going to cancel with such an essential service like internet, and as a result, people are stuck with something that they feel like they just have to be with. Now that's where we come in. Where in a door-to-door setting, we say, hey, we have these new fiber internet lines. We run a way higher speed. We can run up to 8,000 megabits per second, for example, with this company that we're partnered with, and 8,000 on the upload. You look at Cox, and they're only going to be running up to 100 on upload, and maybe 2,000 on the download. Overall, though, fiber, it has way more support by the government. They're actually trying to phase out copper. It's a lot faster for this, but not just that, it also wins on price. You look at Cox here, for that 1 gig speed, they're charging $95 a month, and after 2 years, they try and go up to $139 on you. With us, if you do 1 gig speed, which isn't just for the download like it is for them, but also for the upload, so a lot faster speed for a better connection, you're paying a fraction of that at $59.99. Now, there's a lot of benefits I can go into that just make the sale even easier. But right here, you can already see that we win on the fronts of overall quality with reliability, because fiber, you're going to be running more of a consistent speed. Also, the speed itself is just always going to be faster. And then the other thing is the price. So literally on all fronts that people care about, fiber wins. And that's unlike a lot of sales that might be luxuries. You look at things like pest control or roofing or solar. These are things that even if you don't title them as luxuries, they're something that not everyone already has, and it's a big adjustment. But with internet, it's a lot more of a thing that clicks for people because they say, oh, right, I already have this. I've heard some about fiber already, and you guys win in every single way. Sure, I will get that done. But the thing that's so nice about fiber is you can schedule people to get installed very, very quickly. You get paid quickly. And there's very high retention. So you are getting paid on a high volume of accounts that genuinely stick, and the payout for it ends up being extremely good because high volume times medium-sized pay within the sales industry, it makes for an above average pay overall and a very nice entry-level thing that anyone can start doing and make money from. And once you get really good, make a lot of money from. Now, a quick 5-second explanation of fiber. It's just a different type of strand, a different type of wiring instead of copper. Copper right now, it uses satellite connection, and they have all these networks that are typically shared by multiple homes. With fiber, it doesn't matter what your neighbor is doing, it's not gonna interfere with your connection. It's gonna be more weather resistant because copper corrodes over time, and distance, copper weakens over time, while as fiber, you can run it for miles and you're not going to have an issue with a decreased speed. And so in other words, you are getting what you're paying for. You're getting the speed that you actually desire. So that's one thing on just why it's so common sense. And beyond this, it brings up the value of the home. My point in saying this is fiber is such a logical thing that people, almost every single person should have it, and every single person at some point will have it, or almost will have it, right? There's going to always be people who don't even need internet or whatever, but for the most part, this is going to be something that everyone should get, and so they may as well do it now while the deal is the best. And the government themselves, you can look this up, it's called the BEAD program, BEAD. The government up until 2030 is putting in over $40 billion into getting high-speed internet infrastructure out there, most of that being fiber because it's more durable over time and it stands the test of weather and stuff like that. So now to go into the actual sales portion, my job is extra easy because instead of just saying, oh hey, I'm going to switch over your internet, we have promotions. So when I'm going to sign someone up, I can sweeten the deal and I can give them, for example, 1 month free of our internet. That way they could try it out side by side. I can give them a free install so they don't pay anything up front. And a lot of companies, they have extra add-ons. So for this company, again, Pavlov, which is one of our partners that we partner with, we can give them a free year of Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus, and it's a prepaid card. So even if they have a current account, they could just use our Visa card basically to fund it for the next year. This just makes the sale even easier, and the reason that we're able to get this is a lot of companies, they truly value what these door-to-door guys do, what people like me, my team, my company does for them. Most fiber companies, most telecom companies, they have investors because there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of money that's needed for general infrastructure and just daily operations. And so these investors, they want to get a return on their money effectively and quickly, and they want to see good traction. Standard advertising like pamphlets or ads or whatever it may be, sure, you can have a penetration rate in a certain town or city, but it's going to be a lot smaller than door-to-door, which is just more direct. People get their questions answered with the real person. And fiber salesmen, they do not have a bad rep because we do things the right way. We can't screw people over. We can't put people, there's no contracts in fiber. It's easy to switch a plan, upgrade, downgrade. There's a ton of transparency. If you do things the right way and you're working for a good company and you're trained properly, every single person wins. And just to give some context on me, is I have a group of friends that I work with that we partner with fiber companies like Pavlov, like Brightspeed, like T-Mobile, etc., that we have leverage because we throw up so many accounts as an organization, and we earn them like over $1 million a month between our companies every single month on like a recurring basis with these sales, that we can go to them and say, hey, in this market it's a little bit tougher to sell, so we want you to lower your prices and keep them at that lowered rate, not just make it like a promo. We can say, hey, we want to negotiate and get a free month. And we can say, hey, we're only going to sell with you in this market if you do put that in as a promotion, because if not, we're just going to bring our production elsewhere. So we as a company have leverage. We have leverage to make pay quicker. We have leverage to make pay better. We have leverage to make the offer better so that people get more sales. And in the end, the customer also is winning. So we win, the companies we partner with wins, and the customer wins. All in all, beyond this is basically the structure behind it. I go door to door. This is me with the customer. This was in an HOA, no soliciting neighborhood, and I still dropped 11 accounts in 7.5 hours. You could see already there were some current customers, and you're going to go into neighborhoods that might already have you, and that just makes the sale easier because people already know others that have gotten you installed, that have been running your internet. And even if no one has it yet, then that might be a benefit because it's something that's fresh. So anything in sales can be a benefit, the way that you look at it and the way that you harp on it. For me personally, I love selling, so it's not just like I have guys under me that do it. I do it myself. Those numbers that I showed prior, that was just on my accounts. That is not on any people that I have under me, where the nice thing with this is that you can scale. It's called overrides in sales. If I have, for example, a team of, 50 guys and they all sell here and there, I can make, an override of an extra 25, 50 bucks, not coming out from what they would be making, but it's coming out from a broader stack. And maybe to make it extra worth it for that guy, what we typically do is then I would cover their housing or I would cover their flight. And we could be flexible with those sort of payouts to make it a completely low risk thing. If you guys have seen my prior videos, you'd know that I did my first blitz, which is like a period of selling in Marco Island, Florida. And the reason that I tried it, there's a couple reasons, but it showed me that they have confidence in what they're doing by them paying for my flight and paying for my housing. And I was like, if they're willing to do that for me, then there must be money in it because they're expecting me to make them money and me to make money. So the nice thing here is that it's very flexible. We have tons of people in this industry that they start with nothing and you're still able to start, unlike a lot of business models where you need capital. Now, from here, I want to go into really my long-term plan, because I already sort of said why fiber, but both of these are sort of going to go hand in hand. Number one, with the fiber industry and sales in general, fiber is the best space to be in. The government is putting in billions and billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars into building this out until 2030. And even after 2030, there's still going to be a lot of homes that don't know they have it available, might still not have it available, and will always be getting more fiber built in. And it's the most ethical sales that I believe that there is in a door-to-door context. Like I said, you cannot screw anyone over. The reps, they're trained better with just, not needing to push people, because it's just such a chill sale. If you do it the right way, I never feel like I have to push anyone. It's always just be their friend, answer questions, and you conduct yourself the right way with the right confidence, and you are their friend, then good things happen, right? Beyond this now, my long-term plan, and this ties into fiber, is that if fiber does go away in, let's say, 8 years or something, or before or after, the money that I would make until then, at 19 years old, and whatever age you are, because there's people of all ages in this industry, that is going to give you a head start into whatever else is going to be a good opportunity, whether it's investing, whether it's, getting into another asset, whether it's getting you into starting your own business. Having money on hand is one of the most important things. Beyond this, though, the skill set of sales makes you someone that is always going to be valuable, whether that is starting your own business or working under someone else, because you have leverage, you know how to talk to people, you know how to literally tangibly make these amounts of dollars for this company. A lot of jobs out there nowadays, they don't have concrete numbers to show employers and say, hey, I produce this for you. Sales, by definition, you can go on exact numbers. You say, yeah, I literally produced this amount. There is no disputing that. I made you this much. You paid me out this much. Pay me my worth because I've been doing this. And if you're going to another company, use that as leverage. And if fiber, or if any industry in sales goes away, the nice thing is that converts if you want to be an employee for someone, or if you're starting your own business, the number one thing that you need to know how to do is sales, or one of the number one things, right? Then the other thing, which is super key for me, is the connections and the relationships. All of us within, like I said, I work with my friends every single day to build up the current company that we have and negotiate these things with the fiber providers, with selling, with recruiting, etc. And if fiber ever went away or whatever it is, and we wanted to switch, we wanted to pivot, we would be able to pivot because we all know that we can trust each other. And a lot of jobs, a lot of industries, you don't really have that. But in sales, there's so many opportunities where people could screw you over. And I've been with the guys that I've been with for so long now and haven't left because they haven't screwed people over. And I hear about all these stories of people getting screwed over. So whatever industry we go into, I will know that, okay, these are the guys I can trust. We can move this along into the other project. Because truth be told, so much in the near future is going to be changed with AI, with automation, AGI, etc., that there's a lot of unknown. But the one thing that I do know is that sales, people are always going to be uninformed about things like fiber, about products that they should have that they don't know they have availability for, and they need a person to talk to. They want that extra little connection, and even if they don't realize it, it's just a simple case. I see it every day where people, at the end of when I sell them, they say, I never would have thought that I would have bought from a door-to-door guy. But the simple fact is that even if they were knocked 10, 20 times before, this is a new human being in front of them, and there's something within people, for most people, that they're at least going to hear you out a little bit if you present yourself the right way. So all in all, my long-term plan with this is ride fiber as much as possible, utilize it with the capital, the connections, the skill sets, and if it ever fizzles out, I'll be in a comfortable position where I already have a good group that I can work with. I already have a skill set and a bunch of skill sets that I can use as leverage for my own projects, working with these guys or doing my own thing, and the money as well. Putting all of that together makes for a very, very comfortable position. I'm going to be making a lot more videos like this, going in depth on other questions, because truth be told, I could make this a huge series. I could even make this video way longer, but I'm going to cut it short there. That being said, if you have any questions, if you want to learn a little bit more, if you want to hop on a call, comment down below. You can visit my bio and we can set up a call there and talk further if this is something that you might want to do. Because for me, it's changed my life. I started just over a year ago and been paying all my expenses at 19, and it's truly given me time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, spiritual freedom. So I know that I want that for other people if they see that it's a good fit. So reach out, don't hesitate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.